time she came over and she wanted a little bit of help with this. This is a bougainvillea, by the way. And after looking at this plant, we decided, because these two branches sort of competed with each other, we decided that maybe we should layer one section. Rather than have these two guys competing with each other, we decided that what we would do was get two plants. It's time, I would think, to separate the two. So what we have here now, actually the timing is just right, because since we're doing soil, we will actually quite, yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
It's kind of attractive, you know? That's good.
How old is the tree?
Huh?
How long is tree?
Something like this
10 years?
would be a minimum of 10 years.
Minimum 10 years.
Yeah. You know, minimum of 10 years. And what I like about bougainvillea is that even when it's a young plant, you get all you get all this texture on the bark, and even at that age, it looks quite, you know, nice. Normally, I would cut the ends of this off, but with bougainvillea, you never can tell whether you're going to get flowers here or at the end. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. So this stays like this. It's a little bit wobbly, but I'm still going to leave it like this. But before Josephine said that what she did is that she soaked it to water it. It's a little bit wet right now, but I'm going to be talking about tropical soils, by the way. It's advisable for bonsai soil, especially tropical, when you're watering them, to soak them in a bucket like this. And the reason for that is, if you notice, when you water it, when you put it in, you'll see bubbles coming up. And then you take it out when the bubbles have stopped. That means what the bubbles are doing, that's like breathing. The bubbles are pushing out the stale air in the soil. And when you take it out, and the water leaks back out, it's pulling back in fresh air. I believe it like that or not, that's like us breathing. So you're replacing all the stale air that's in the soil with fresh air. And if you want to do that a couple of times, you're completely replacing the stale air. It's extremely important to have fresh air, believe it or not. Even the soil outside that you walk on has air. If there is no air in the soil is dead, that's when it goes smelly. And this is also why you have the importance of earthworms in the soil, because the earthworms are always, you know, moving around, digging up the soil, and, you know, screening it. And there's a dangerous thing coming, I hope it never hits here. There is a thing called New Zealand flatworm. Apparently what it does is that it actually eats earthworms. And if I know it's in England, France, and those places, I hope it never hits North America, because if it ends up destroying or killing the earthworms in North America, you know what that does to our soil here, right? So we hope that never happens. Anyway, this is done now. So, and within 2 or 3 weeks, you start getting the roots. I'll plant this back in the soil. Hopefully, this will survive. Soil. Normally, what you would do is okay, this is a bit of charcoal. Charcoal in soil, that takes care of any nasty little things in the soil.
Leroy,
Yes?
is that just, would that be aquarium charcoal?
Okay, this is the charcoal that was normally used for orchids. I wouldn't use charcoal that you use in the
Barbecue.
barbecue because that has a chemical on it. And you could make your own charcoal if you want, but why bother with that? Because for $7 to $9 you can get a full bag of charcoal this
Well,
size.
You know, I came across charcoal Kintyre, that is organic charcoal and it has no chemicals and it's from fruit trees.
Right.
And
there
I've
you
been
go.
using for a couple of years now and it seems to work. It just comes in really big pieces.
Yeah.
So you have to like smash it with a hammer.
In the
Yeah.
plant
In the bottom, or spread, you can mix it in your soil, whichever way you want to do it. Incidentally, what they're finding out now, farmers are finding out in Germany and all over, is that if you mix charcoal in your farming soil, the yield that you're getting is so much better than what they've been getting all along because they've been depleting the soil, so charcoal has been refurbishing the soil. And this is something the ancient people have been doing for years and years, that they've forgotten, and that they're now going back to doing it.
They
So,
find real good growth after a forest fire for the same reason.
yeah, exactly.
So couldn't you use your wood?
For drainage. This is pre-mixed soil. Where did this one come from, Josephine? London, okay. His mixture is slightly different, but I'm going to be using a little bit of it now. What I find is that his doesn't seem to incorporate too much humus or soil. Tends to be a bit poorer, so I'm sort of leery of doing it. This one I think has a little bit more of that. So I'm going to put some of this in. In other words, I'm mixing. And I'll explain everything later on why I'm doing that. This is also quite dry. Yeah. And again, I have a large bougainvillea. One of the large bougainvilleas that the nursery sell that goes for $100 and odd. We're talking at the end of the season, you get them for half price, something going for 160, you can get for 60 or so. I bought a large one, and from that, I think I got something like 6 cuttings. So I will save one for you if this doesn't survive. And I guarantee you, I've taken some cuttings off already, so they're already growing. They're maybe twice the size of this one, so I guarantee you that you'll smile. Coconut fiber, and I'll explain to you guys later on why I'm doing this.
What's a coconut?
Coconut fiber, because it's tropical. It's a mixture of it there. That's the newest thing now. It is the replacement for peat moss. Coconut fiber is just one of those things that is multi-purpose. I remember growing up, first of all, it's used for as an orchid mix.
Yeah, I guess you can do
I was
that.
gonna say, I just did some orchids and they were,
Larger ones, yeah.
yeah, there was coconut was in them, so.
Yeah. And I remember growing up as a kid, of course we had to make a lot of things like, you know, when you make your bed, the mattresses, we used to use that to stop the mattresses. Oh, that used to hurt until the fibers broke down, most uncomfortable. The old timers and over here, you used to use what, horsehairs, I think? Same
Yeah,
thing that you use?
And straw.
And straw. Oh yeah, we used to use straw. Oh, I hated that too. Not very-
You made things do with what you had.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna put, this is, oh, by the way, this was wrapped in sphagnum moss. I didn't finish telling you what I did once I cut this, did I? I clipped it, then I wrapped it in sphagnum moss, which is this. And after it was wrapped in sphagnum moss, I wrapped it in the plastic that you saw. And then moistened it, left it, and after about a week or two, you start getting roots. And hers was on for about what, 6 months, Josephine?
in October.
October, yeah,
Yes.
Now, you did that with a nick.
yeah.
Do you do any circling them?
No, what I find with this one, with bougainvilleas,
Yeah, okay, that's
if you-
specific to bougainvillea.
yeah, if you circle bougainvilleas, they're likely to die.
Okay.
So for me, the nick is better.
What's a
Uh,
circle?
Huh?
What is a circle?
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
Ring-
this part of the bark. That is the green part of the bark, so you'll be taking off here. And you leave it till it grows. I'll be, if I'm asked to do it later on, I'll do a demonstration later on to show you. Actually, I have some. The tropical soils generally should have, a lot of more humus or soil in it than anything else. And the reason for that, if you're in the tropics, there's more soil in the ground than anything else. So that's generally the difference.
More organic.
House, you're not putting organic humus, like the material that I have, this one, is Canadian Tire,
Topsoil.
no,
Farm
cow
soil.
manure.
Cow manure,
Cow
Okay,
manure.
therefore there comes the difficulty, and I'm gonna get into that, yeah. That's one of the very, good questions.